Is it bad to say that XDefiant came out and I really didn't give a shit? Well, I mean, the game didn't come out. They just had another playtest weekend this past weekend. Currently, it is April 22nd right now, and I think the playtest just ended yesterday. And yeah, I didn't care. I was too busy playing Call of Duty because I'm a weak-minded individual that just cannot get away from this franchise. But on a serious note, is XDefiant ever actually going to come out? I feel like every single time we hear anything about it, they're just doing another playtest, and then another playtest, and then another fucking playtest. It's like we've done all these playtests when the game's in perfect working order. Why don't they just release it? But then granted, I think that's also just my broken fucking brain, where I'm just like conditioned to think that games should just come out half finished like we've gotten with Call of Duty in the last like forever now. Honestly, since like Black Ops 4 I think was like the first one where like the game was like really not finished. Obviously it didn't have a campaign. Maybe that is just my broken ass gamer consumer brain where I'm just like, you know what, just fucking release the thing already. I mean, it works. Granted, I don't know shit about coding and video games. I mean, I play video games. It doesn't mean I know shit about them. I just didn't play XDefiant. This was, I think, the first playtest weekend that I did not play at all, which is still kind of odd because I usually do like to just give the games a chance, especially when it comes to XDefiant, because anything that remotely relates to Call of Duty, I guess, in like any way, or just a first-person shooter in general, especially a super arcadey first-person shooter, absolutely. Oh, that guy got fucking spit on. But I think even like Nacha or somebody said it recently, and they were just like, you know what, man, like XDefiant, they really should just release the game already. Because honestly, after all of these playtests, we still don't have the full game. I'm really wondering if it's supposed to come out at all, or if they're just gonna keep teasing it for the next like 3 years. Because granted, they said that shit was gonna come out in like October or August of last year. It is now April of 2024, and they said that shit was gonna come out in like, I'm pretty sure the day was supposed to be like August sometime in 2023, and it just hasn't come out. Like I said, they just keep doing playtests, which, I mean, I understand. I know that they want this game to come out in some kind of working order, but like they were talking about competing with Call of Duty, like with this game and shit. It's like, you guys aren't competing with this game. This game is, number one, not really that realistic, but like, oh my god, that spawn was godly. This game isn't like realistic, but like it's not as arcadey as like XDefiant is trying to be, I guess, which I'm all for, like arcadey, like I guess with like not superpowers. I can't really think of what abilities, that's the word I'm thinking of. But it's like, I think games like that, like arcadey ass shooters like with abilities and stuff, I think that stuff's really cool. But it's just like, you know, like just release the game already. Why does the game have to be absolutely perfect when it comes out? I mean, every other development company doesn't give a fuck about the integrity of having a finished game when it comes out. I mean, fuck, dude, look at like Activision. We get a half-finished game every single year from like 4 or 3 different development companies that work on these games. The games just still are never complete. And again, I think that's just my broken ass consumer brain that's just like, hey, just release the game. Who cares if it, you know, isn't where they want it to be? Which again, I'm not gonna even pretend that I know shit about how coding and video games and net coding and stuff, or whatever the fuck they keep saying the problem is that they're having issues with. And like, just you can't compete with anything if the game just never comes out. And I really do hope that XDefiant does have some sort of a future to some degree, like successful future, I should say. Because I mean, if they release the game at all, it's gonna have a future. Like, it's not gonna be like, I don't think it's gonna be a game where nobody plays it. But I mean, does it ever come a time, oh god, we're lagging. But does there ever come a time where they're just like trying to be too like perfectionist about it? It's like, just, I keep saying it, but just release the fucking game already. It's more so the fact that I don't care to play a beta again. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I don't really care to play test the game for like a 17th time. It's like, I have my opinions about the game. I am rooting for the game. I hope that everything goes well. I hope it's successful, and I will be playing it when it finally comes out. But until it comes out, I just don't care. That's like Call of Duty. Every year that we get a beta, it's like them dropping the beta 17 times in a row. It's just like, just stop giving us fucking betas and just give us the game. I guess it sounds like really one-dimensional if I just keep saying just like, oh yeah, just release the game. Who cares if it's barely playable? I mean, it's either that, dude, or just don't even say anything. Like, if you're just gonna continuously just release these games in just beta form, or just keep giving us betas, it's like, just don't even say anything. Playtest it in your office and just forget about it. Don't even tell the public that it's coming, because now that they've mentioned it, now people just care about when it's coming out. That's why I'm making this video. You know what, really thinking about it, I'm trying to think of a game that like should not have come out that came out probably half finished, and the number one game that comes to mind is Battlefield 2042. That game should have literally stayed in the drafts. That should have stayed an idea on paper until they could pay enough people to finish the game, because that game is still in shambles. That shit came out in, what, 2020 maybe? XDefiant in beta form is more complete than Battlefield 2042 has been for the last 4 years it's been out. Or was it 2021? There was a trifecta year where we were supposed to get Call of Duty, Halo, and Battlefield was barely done. Nobody liked Vanguard, and then Halo Infinite is also still also just not doing too hot, which is, again, I think it's just my broken consumer brain where I'm just like, dude, fuck it, just drop the game, who cares if it's done or not, you guys can work on it after it drops, which also is probably a bad idea, because once people get a bad taste in their mouth for a game, it's kind of over. Like I just said, Halo is still not doing too hot either, and Battlefield 2042 is still barely a finished game. And I say finished very loosely. I don't know what qualifies as a finished game, because these games are constantly getting updates and just kind of keep rolling out like new changes. So I don't think a game's ever like complete, but I guess like close enough to where they're comfortable with releasing it. But again, XDefiant, I don't know, man. For an arcade shooter, I think they should have just dropped that shit. In a way, I kind of wish I played it, but I've watched enough videos already. Like I watched Jev's videos on it. I watched Merc Music's video on it. Like, it just kind of is what it is, man. Like I said, they don't bring anything new to the game. They just keep saying that they update things like laced into the game, like netcodes and shit, and it's like, I don't know what that fucking means. I'm just here to point and shoot, man. I'm hoping XDefiant comes out soon. I hope they realize that they're never gonna get it right. They're never gonna hit the nail on the head perfectly, so I hope they just release it soon. Like I said, the game was supposed to come out last year before Call of Duty came out, and we're now 6 months into this Call of Duty and the game still hasn't come out, so hopefully they can get out before Call of Duty 2024. And yeah, I mean, like I said, hoping for the best, but honestly, if they do one more fucking playtest, I might actually choke myself out. But anyway, it's been your boy Jinzle. I will see you beautiful people in the next video. I love you guys so much. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I just did my outro so backwards, it's not even funny, but like, comment, subscribe. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody. Fucking been making YouTube videos for like 9 years, and I still cannot get my outro correct. It's insane.